37 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
No, here we are with the jumper and everything. With the scarf.
No, too much.
Too much.
Too much. Yes. Yes, because we're going too mad. That's a cool exercise. Very good. So can you go to the next frame? Are you both in? We have anonymous ferret and
Maria, because I am in the cell phone.
right. So you cannot do it. Very good. So we here I've got anonymous ferret, but you do see it on the screen, right? Shared
Yes.
on the meet session.
Yes, I can see it.
Very good. So can you read the assignment here?
Yes. What is the role of a manager? Choose your top 3 roles from the following.
Very good, Maria. Read it.
Coach, motivator, mediator, problem solver, instigator, dictator, organizer, facilitator, leader, mentor, decision maker.
Right. And know that this is mediator with an
Mediator,
E.
sorry.
Mediator. Yes, mediator. Very good. So for both of you, choose your top 3 model roles from the whole list. You do
I
see it,
think that,
Karen, right?
yes, I think that leader.
Very good. So we have leader,
Organizer,
Yes.
organizer. Yes.
decision maker.
Yes,
Decision maker. Right. That's 3 of one of you, I think. And for the other one, for Maria or Karen, which is the other 3 that you could think of?
Mediator.
Mediator.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe motivator.
Yes.
Could it
Motivator.
be?
Coach motivator. Oh. Problem
And
solver.
yes.
I love this one. Instigator. Sorry, no, dictator. And this
Dictator,
one
yes.
is interesting as well. Sorry, did you say something?
No.
Can you think of any other role apart from all of this?
I don't know what instigator.
Me neither.
Like,
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Maybe the book didn't explicit it.
hmm.
So do you think a manager can have another role?
Maybe the problem solver.
Yes.
Problem solver. Very good.
Or even the mentor.
Mentor.
Todos.
Wow. Choose everything. Yes. Right. Facilitator, mediator.
And
Coach.
dictator. What is the meaning of dictator?
The meaning that you want, I think, because there isn't an explicit. You should watch
Maybe that
the
it
TV the new TV series on Netflix about dictators. It's extremely interesting.
I don't see it. I will
You
search for
should
it.
see it because
with
it's got
Hitler
the
and Mussolini.
no, it's got the ideas of Hitler, Stalin, Idi
Stalin.
Amin. You have the current Korean dictator, the one that is still going on today. which is rather odd because
Mm.
do you think a dictatorship could happen on these times with a contemporary capitalism and globalization? Well, I think it's a too much of a deep political debate. Very good.
Okay.
So, do you think of? Can you come up with any other than these ones here? So you think it's motivator, right? Why motivator?
Maybe because you have to encourage the employees to work, create new
So
things.
yes, yes. Uh, Interesting. Instigator, facilitator. Well, for me, the idea of mentor is not so appealing. I would go more with problem solver and decision maker. That's
Yes,
my
I,
at least my one, my favorite one.
I think mentor is like a role model. I don't know.
yeah.
Role model. Yes.
To someone to go I don't know to follow.
Or maybe when you the pasantía.
No se escuchó.
Example to follow. Yes. I'm still waiting for Griselda. Maybe is she? I'm not sure if she's going to come.
I don't know because if she is not here now, I don't think so. Because she's very
Hmm.
Yes.
yes,
She's so punctual,
yes,
like a British girl. I love it.
yes.
I really like punctual people, but it's hard to find them.
Oh, I love to. I don't like
Mhm.
impunctuality.
You don't like punctual people?
No, impunctuality.
Ah, impunctuality. Although I'm not sure if that
Me
word
neither.
exists, but well, I'll look it up because I think it does. Obviously, I always recommend this dictionary, Macmillan. Do you know it?
No.
No.
Macmillan, search for it, and if you can, add this to your Google Chrome, grammarly.com. It's going to ask you when you are writing a silly question or a silly word, it's going to ask you, are you sure? It's, it's what we would call a buchon, but totally. But you will love it. It's very useful. I hope. Are you ever unsure about your grammar skills?
I don't know what it's for. That
Sorry?
Grammarly.com.
Grammarly.com it's an application that you can download and you or sorry, not download, but you can add it to your navigator.
Yes.
It's going to tell you when you're making a mistake.
In
And
English.
in the official web page, it's very useful for when you are writing essays or maybe drafting something in English and
I
it'll sometimes obviously it's going to ask you for money. Obviously, sometimes, not always, but it can tell you whether you're writing it the wrong way or you're doing a good job, if it's correct what you're saying, if it makes sense, that sort of problems, which is something that it's not easy for us Spanish speakers.
okay. I will search for it.
Yes, it's
When you
very useful, especially
yeah,
when drafting texts. That's the
yeah.
main the main appeal. And it comes to with the option of downloading it on your Google Chrome. And even when you're drafting an email on gmail.com, it will tell you, are you sure of this word? Do you think you're doing it right? And sometimes it can be really bothering. Trust me. The
Qué
role of a
inseguridad.
manager. Okay, so can you turn over to the next page? Uh-huh. And I apologize because sometimes the image is not so big, but you can use the the zoom tool on on the left upper part of the screen. There is a zoom tool there.
Yes.
Are you here?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. So Karen, read this here.
Yes. People connected with the company.
The
Exercise
company.
company.
Yes. Yes.
Look at this list of people. They are all connected with a company. Match each person in the list with the correct description below.
Very good. Karen, read these ones here.
Director, shareholders, company secretary, auditor. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Auditor.
Auditor. Thank you.
What does an auditor
Uh,
do?
To control
yes.
the finances of the company.
Do we
Yes.
have auditors here in our legal system?
Yes. We can call for an
Yes.
auditor by the directors or the board of the directors.
Board of directors. Interesting. Auditor. I didn't know it existed.
Yes. A veces llaman auditor externo, porque no es que a veces está dentro de la compañía, sino como que llaman a alguien.
Right, so there isn't. Auditors are people who work in companies. Or maybe it can be something from the government as well, something public.
Claro, como puede ser porque puede ser que intervenga en una compañía para determinada cuestión. Por ejemplo, un sindicato.
Interesting. Very good. So Maria here, read it.
Accountant, employees, creditors, and debtors.
Accountant. Interesting. Well, that's how you spell it. So I hope you remember that because it's fairly easy to forget that it has a C. So accountant, whenever you write it, you know that it has two C's. Did you know that?
No.
No.
Me neither. Sorry, do you know whether do we have company secretaries in our legal system? I've never seen that.
I don't know if that is the name, but maybe the function of it, yes. But I don't know if it's exactly that name here in our legal system.
Well, with secretary, you have several pronunciation styles. If you want it, you have secretary, secretary, or secretary. Whenever you, if you, it's just for you to know. In the future, now you know it. It's actually a very flexible word. Do you know many male secretaries?
I don't listen to us. Se cortó.
Well, do you know many male secretaries?
Not many.
No.
Well,
A few.
okay, so there must be male secretaries because it's obviously a word with a female connotation. You will often see it on textbooks, on workbooks. It would always have a female connotation. The same goes for nurse. That's why you always need the word male secretary, male nurse.
Oh.
It's a very interesting fact about language. Okay, so these are all the definitions of the 8 people. I don't know. I think it was. I thought they were 10. Interesting. Debtors. Okay, so they are all 8, and we're going to read them one at a time. The definitions, and you're going to tell me.
Okay.
Karen, read this one here on letter A.
All of the people who are employed by a company.
Who are they?
The employees.
Yes.
Employees. Do you remember when I told you about
Yeah,
the letter
sorry.
E? Remember, you have to smile. Employee.
Employees. Yes,
Employee.
sorry.
Employees.
And if you can, try to pronounce the final Z. Employees.
Employees. Like a bee.
Yeah, that's why. But that's very long to explain why this is a Z. It's not an S. It's not employees. It's employees.
Okay.
Very good. Yes, I think I'm not sure if you're interested with those little pronunciation facts, but
Yes.
I think it could help you.
Yes. Yes.
Very good. So all the people employed, Maria, can you write it down? Maybe letter A here.
Yes.
Employees.
Okay.
Yes, very good. Okay, letter B, Maddie. Read it.
The people or companies that a company owes money to.
Who are they?
Creditors.
Creditors. Well, it could. Do you think so? Are they creditors if you owe money to them?
No are debtors.
I'm not sure because
No,
we have in
because
Spanish we have
you
a
owe the
that word.
money.
We
You
have
owe
that
Yes.
the
word,
money.
acreedores, right?
Sí, tiene razón
Yes.
María. Sí, tiene razón María.
Creditors, yes. Very good. Okay, Karen, let's see here.
The owners of a company, they are also called it the members of a company.
Cold.
Can be shareholders.
It could be shareholders. Do you think, Maria, do you think so? They are the owners.
Yes, I think so.
Tell me both. Can directors and shareholders be the same? Well, we just said they were the same, but can directors and shareholders be within the same board? Well, that's what we're going to study afterwards. That's why I was asking you. Maybe you already knew it.
Board, it's a board of directors, not of
Board of
shareholders.
directors. But can shareholders uh, have the same status or role as the directors?
You're asking if a shareholder can be a director too?
No,
Or
if
what?
shareholders can have the same responsibilities as directors.
No, I think
No, I
they
think
don't.
no. They don't
Well,
have the
then
responsibility.
we have a final activity about that, so yeah, we can study that. Very good. So we said the owners of a company, they're called the members of a company. I think Maria said, Karen said, which one did you say it was?
Shareholders, number 2.
Shareholders.
Yes.
Okay, so let's write it down. Shareholders. Right, shareholders. Uh-huh. Yes, it's still recording. I'm always scared that it's not recording. Very good. So, Maria, letter D.
Okay, a person who checks the financial records of a company to verify that the accounts are a true reflection of the company's.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no,
Yes,
no.
I think you cannot see it well.
Okay.
Well, yes. I think maybe if no, sorry, no. Well, it could be companies something.
Maybe
Maybe
it's
companies accounts. I think I
yes.
forgot to include that part.
Maybe it's auditor.
Yes, I think so.
Auditor. Interesting. I thought it was accountant.
No, I think the F is accountant.
Yes.
F is accountant. Interesting. Auditor. Is that what auditores do here? They check the financial records,
Yes. They control.
Yes.
but I mean, are they employed by the government or are they private?
Can be both, I think. The company can ask for an auditor, and the government can put an auditor in some companies, not in all of them.
Right, like some sort of penalty.
Yes, for some reason. Yeah, well, I don't remember a reason now, but in some cases, yes, the government can put an auditor.
Hmm. Wow. Interesting. Very good. So letter E, we said D, we said auditor.
Yes,
Checks the financial record. Whose turn was it?
I think that my turn.
Very good, Karen. Read letter E.
The people who run and manage a company.
Manage. Very good.
Director, I think.
Ah, sorry. Yes, I forgot to. You are watching this, right? You're only watching
Yes,
my screen.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
I can
sorry
see
that I need to
the
see.
no, what I remember.
Very good. So directors, can you, Maria? Can you write it down?
Yes.
Directors, directors and employees. Uh-huh. Maria, letter A then. Although I
Okay.
forgot the
A
Y.
person who deals with the company's finances. This person usually has professional qualification in
Ah,
accountancy.
no, that's very easy.
Maybe it's accountant.
It could be accountant, but it says it has usually, although it means that it can have another qualification in another field.
Y can be, no sé si allá existe, pero tipo como administrador de empresas.
Administrador de empresa. Who
Claro.
is that? I thought shareholders and directors were administradores de
No,
empresa.
hay una carrera acá que se llama contador
Claro.
y hay una carrera
Administración.
intermedia que se llama administración de empresas.
Administración. Nice. I didn't know that. Well, let's say it's accountant. So, Manny, can you write it down?
Yes. Okay.
Employees. Right. Huh? Karen, letter G.
The people or companies who owe a company some money. Debtors.
Debtors. Interesting. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And very good. Mari, can you write it down? Debtors.
Okay.
Debtors. Well, Marty, the final one that I think it's not necessary. Show the company's central obligations. Right? Can you read it, Marty?
Yes,
The
sorry,
final
I
one.
was with the mic off. The person who is responsible for making sure that a company's statutory obligations are complied with.
Who is
Company
that?
secretary.
Company secretary. Well, it's not necessary to add it, but well, we can. Can you
I
can write
know.
it down because well, it's the final one. Company
There you go.
secretary. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And here we have a listening. I hope you like it. It was a long listening and I had to shorten it up. Shorten it. Very good. So Karen, can you read it? Can you read the assignment?
Listening. Listen to a man talking about who the owner of the company is. Listen closely and answer the questions. Sorry.
Very good, Maddie. Letter A here.
Yes. What is the first key question when setting up a company?
Yes, Karen, letter B.
The many companies are listed on da, 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 da. These are da, 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 companies. That means they da, 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 can be da, 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 da.
Maddie, letter C.
What can change all the time in a company?
Right. What do you think can change all the time in a company?
The employees.
Man, yeah. You know the word expendable, right? Have you
No.
ever seen
No,
it? Do you know what it
no,
means?
no,
Have you ever seen the movie The Expendables?
no.
It's a
No.
very weird action movie with all action stars like Schwarzenegger, maybe Jet Li, or maybe Stallone. Expendable is something that you can discard. Do you understand that word?
Like imprescindible or
No, that
prescindible.
would be unexpendable.
Yes,
Como que no
prescindible.
puedes discutir.
Expendable is something that you can discard. That's well, that would be the action, and expendable is well, then the noun for it, and discard is the verb. Do you understand the meaning? What do you do with a coffee
Like,
cup?
uh, like it's the same if you have it or not, or if you have some employee or other.
Well, maybe this verb.
Prescindible.
Yes, that's the word for it. And so you could say employees. It can change all the time in a company because they are expendable. Although it's awful to think that you as an employee
Yes.
you are expendable.
Yes.
But now you know that word. It's interesting. Have you ever seen it?
No, I have never seen it.
No.
Well, and don't watch the movie because it's not good. Don't do it. Sorry, they are old. It's so sad. Well, that's for it. Then you have it. Throw away. You can say thrown away as well. It means that you discard something and you no longer use it. You don't have a purpose for it. That's why you discard it. We have, which could be the how can I say it? Do we have a word like this in Spanish? Which is the
I
the
think
word?
it's prescindible.
Sí,
No,
prescindible.
that prescindible, that would be for this one, which is
Innecesario.
the equivalent for this one.
Ah,
Let's go
Descartable.
with English mode,
Descartable.
English teaching mode. Sorry, can you repeat?
Descartable.
Yes. Descartable would be expendable, but to discard, what is to discard?
No, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
I thought
No,
it was
you are
descartable.
right, Karen.
Or
That's why
descartar.
it's descartar. So that would be the action. That's why. But expendable
Yes.
is something that you can discard, but it's not the action of discarding someone, throwing someone away.
Oh,
But
okay.
well, that it depends. In company law, I think there may be different adjectives and different verbs because well, it's a whole discipline on its own. So it has its proper methodology and terminology. Very good. So sorry that I got so philosophical. Okay, what can change all the time in a company? Karen, can you read letter D?
Yes. According to the video, who gets a seat at the board of director of a company? What are the privileges? I don't know how to pronounce
Privileges.
Privileges.
With an E. Privileges.
Privileges. They get from having a seat at the board of directors.
Right. Maria, letter E.
Okay, what do smaller shareholders do in a company?
Right. Okay, Karen, letter F.
Name some of the companies that the video mentions.
Right. The company, the video is going to, at the end, it's going to mention several companies, but they belong to different size, companies of different size. I want the first companies that the video mentions,
Okay.
and then the last ones belong to this question here. Can you read it? Can you read it, Maria?
Yes. I don't know in which you ended. What does it mean that?
Yes.
The final
What
one,
does
T.
it, yes. What does it mean privately owned company?
What does
Can
it
you
mean,
name?
privately owned company? No, well, sorry. Let's
Maybe
go
it's
on.
not public.
Not public, yes.
Yes.
All right.
Can you name
Can
some
you
of
read
the
the final
privately?
question?
Can you name some of the privately owned companies the video mentions?
Very good. So those are the final ones. That's the final part of the video, and I want you to remember those ones. It's not
Okay.
necessary to remember all of them because sometimes you may get distracted. It's natural. There's no problem with it. Sorry, let me just erase that. Run away. Right. Okay. Very good. So now I'm going to stop sharing the Jamboard and I'm going to share the screen for it. You can keep working on the Jamboard on your own. So it's not necessary for me to share it.
Okay.
Especially because the people who are watching the recording won't be able to watch it. So it's impossible. Very good. Right. Right, so watch the presentation. Sorry, yes, watch the presentation on the Meet session if you want, or you can just listen to it and you keep working on the board on your own.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good. Yes. Right.
Choosing the right shareholder model for a company.
You can hear it, right?
Yes.
Very good. So
Maybe you have to mute yourself.
Right. Very good. So now I'm going to start the recording. Listen carefully.
Company is fundamental to its future success, and it would appear from research, the happiness of its workers. Who owns a company? Just as there's more than one way to cook an egg, or peel an orange, or skin a cat, as the proverbs go, so there are many ways to build a business. Once the market for the new venture's products or services has been established, the next key question is, how shall we structure the company? Choosing the right shareholder model will be fundamental to its future success. Let's take a look at who owns a company. Many companies are listed on the stock exchange. These are publicly owned companies in that their shares can be traded, such that part ownership of the company changes all the time. The largest shareholders get seats on the company's board of directors and a say in developing its strategy, the key decisions it makes, and what instructions should be given to the CEO and other executives. Smaller shareholders tend to buy and sell stocks in the company according to market trends, pushing the company's share price up and down. The reality, though, is that just a small number of the world's biggest companies control many of the brands you encounter every day. For instance, in the food and drink sector, just 10 companies control almost every large brand in the world. These companies, Nestlé, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Danone, General Mills, Kellogg's, Mars, Associated British Foods and Mondelez, each employ thousands of people and make billions of dollars in revenue every year. Then again, many companies never list on the stock exchange. They prefer to remain privately owned, to stay independent. Privately owned refers to a company that is not publicly traded. This means that the company either does not have a share structure through which it raises capital, or its shares are bought and sold without using an exchange. Privately owned companies include family businesses, sole proprietorships, and the vast majority of small and medium-sized enterprises. These companies tend to fulfill their financing needs from personal savings, family contacts, and retail banks. But not all privately owned companies are small. Some of the most famous companies in the world are private companies, such as the furniture giant IKEA or the huge food and agricultural producer Cargill.
Right, so did you manage to get some of the answers?
Yes, some, yes.
More or less.
Very
More or
good.
less.
It's a rather short video, so we can watch it again. Do you want to?
Yes, please. Yes.
Please.
Very
Yes,
good.
yes.
Choosing the right shareholder model for a company is fundamental to its future success and, it would appear from research, the happiness of its workers. Who owns a company? Just as there's more than one way to cook an egg, or peel an orange, or skin a cat, as the proverbs go, so there are many ways to build a business. Once the market for the new venture's products or services has been established, the next key question is, how shall we structure the company? Choosing the right shareholder model will be fundamental to its future success. Let's take a look at who owns a company. Many companies are listed on the stock exchange. These are publicly owned companies in that their shares can be traded, such that part ownership of the company changes all the time. The largest shareholders get seats on the company's board of directors and a say in developing its strategy, the key decisions it makes, and what instructions should be given to the CEO and other executives. Smaller shareholders tend to buy and sell stocks in the company according to market trends, pushing the company's share price up and down. The reality, though, is that just a small number of the world's biggest companies control many of the brands you encounter every day. For instance, in the food and drink sector, just 10 companies control almost every large brand in the world. These companies, Nestlé, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Danone, General Mills, Kellogg's, Mars, Associated British Foods and Mondelez, each employ thousands of people and make billions of dollars in revenue every year. Then again, Many companies never list on the stock exchange. They prefer to remain privately owned, to stay independent. Privately owned refers to a company that is not publicly traded. This means that the company either does not have a share structure through which it raises capital, or its shares are bought and sold without using an exchange. Privately owned companies include family businesses, sole proprietorships, and the vast majority of small and medium-sized enterprises. These companies tend to fulfill their financing needs from personal savings, family contacts, and retail banks. But not all privately owned companies are small. Some of the most famous companies in the world are private companies, such as the furniture giant IKEA or the huge food and agricultural producer Cargill.
Right, so
Cargill.
Cargill.
Cargill is where my partner works.
Oh,
Nice. That's Cargill. Yes, you told me about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot. It's Cargill.
Here is Glucoville.
Ah. Yes, but he told me Cargill, but I forgot, really. Right, so could you answer some of these questions?
yes.
Yes.
Sam?
Did you like the video? I found it interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is the first key question when setting up a company?
How do we structure the company?
Yes.
Right. How do we structure it? Maria, can you write it? Sorry, I'm going
Yes.
to share the window for it. I'm sorry, Karen. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Very good.
No problem.
Right. So what is the you said? What is the first key question? Is who is going to get how
Should we structure the company?
structure the company? Yes. Good. Sorry, we have 2 more people watching the Jamboard. It must be Andrea. Very good. So how shall we structure the company? Okay. Do you know what it meant by structuring the company?
The type of company, I think.
Well, he said something about choosing the right director.
Yes.
And
It's true.
and a little bit about the roles that we read at the beginning of the class. A little bit about it, not entirely. Okay, Maria, can you answer letter B? Many
Yes.
companies are listed on.
Listed on stock. Sorry, I don't know what I write. I saw
A stock exchange, I think.
stock exchange.
Yes.
I write everything wrong. I don't know what I write.
No, it's okay.
These are publicly companies. That means they're public. Their shares can be traded. Sorry, I write it in another sheet.
Yeah. Well, here it said it was a publicly owned company. That's why I wanted you to fix that. Publicly owned. Remember that we have privately owned, and so the opposite would be publicly owned.
Okay.
That's why, can you write it down here? The shares can be traded. Can be traded, yes. So many companies are listed where? We said.
I don't know how to write it.
Yes. An interesting fact is that when you talk about
exchange.
the stock exchange, you use the article the. The
Okay.
stock exchange. That's why the man said the stock exchange.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, exchange. The fact that now you know.
Yes.
Don't ask me what is that because it's too much for me. Okay, can be traded. So do you remember what it said about buying and trading shares? What does it? What do? Yes. Now let's go. Let's move on to the next question because it's very hard to. For me, it's really hard because I
To
don't know much
understand.
about it.
Yes.
Yes, it's too much for me. I know there's a lot of money involved, but that's it. Okay, let's see, Karen. Can you read it?
I think that it say the shares, but I can't write anymore.
You
I
can write
wrote
it down.
share
It's okay.
capital.
Share. Yes, I only write
Could it
shares
be?
and
Could it be share capital?
It could
if I can
be. It's actually correct. That can change all the time in a company. But remember what the man said, that directors may change from time to time. But you're right.
Okay.
You're right. I love the way you think. Yes, you're right. Very good. You thought outside of the box. Yes. But the video said that directors can actually change all the time in a company.
Okay.
Think for instance that sometimes creators of a company are fired by the other directors. Share capital, right. Okay, so letter D, Maria.
No, sorry. I couldn't do that one.
Yeah, it's rather long. The problem is that I didn't have much space on the board. Yes. Karen, could you manage to write something down about it?
yes, I write it, but only
You
a
wrote.
part of it. Yes, I wrote. Sorry, a part of it. In the one they said, what are the privileges they get from having assets? I think
Having a seat.
that would, yes, I think that development, design, instruction to the CEO, something like that I read, but it's not
Yes.
that.
Yes, very good. Be careful because this is set and the other one is seat.
Seat, sorry. Yes, you have right.
Yes, it's okay, but it makes sense what you think, the way you think. Having a seat at the board of directors, you said, Mari, can you remember? Because it were many and I forgot as well.
No.
It says
Can you?
development, design, instruction to the CEO, and nothing else. I wrote.
Well, instruction to the write that down, Mari. Instructions to the CEO, because we that's the only thing we can remember. Do they have a say on the brands of their products?
What?
What?
I think it said that they had a saying about as regards the products the company makes as well. Apart from the instructions to the CEO, it had many functions. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Normally, who gets a seat at the
Me
board of
neither.
directors? But normally, who gets a seat at the board of directors of a company? In a company. Sorry, I forgot the preposition.
No, I don't know.
The shareholders.
That's in the tolls book as well. So be careful. And I think we just studied that in the previous exercise.
No, I don't know, Thomas.
No, I don't know.
Very good. So if I can recall it right, I think it was shareholders.
Oh, she said it. Karen said it.
Yes, I think I heard it, but sorry, I couldn't listen to you. I'm sorry.
Yes, I say
So you were
shareholder.
right, Karen. Shareholders, they are the ones that mainly get a seat at the board of directors, and they get a saying about as to who is directing the company, who is gets to be the face. All right, so let's do the letter E. What do smaller shareholders do in a company? That's even harder.
I wrote sells stock shares, something like that, but I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to do it buying and selling shares.
Yes, I wrote the same thing.
Why is it important to buy and sell shares? The video said about it. What is the effect of buying and selling shares?
Making a profit.
Yes, but it also said it also talked about pushing
The
the
markets, I
prices
think.
up and down.
Oh, yes.
And that's how a company gets cheaper or more expensive. I think so. I'm not sure, so don't ask why. Probably, but well, that's what smaller shareholders do in a company. Mainly they buy and sell shares. Alright, these ones are a little bit trickier. Okay, letter F. Name some of the companies of the video that the video mentions. Then some of the biggest. Tell me, how many companies own the brands that we normally see every day? What did it say about that?
PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever,
Kellogg's,
Kellogg's, PepsiCo,
General
yes.
Mills,
General Mills.
Mondelez, Danone.
and
Danone. What is Danone? I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
no, me neither.
Ah,
But I don't remember in what they do.
okay, Manny, can you write some of them down here?
Yes.
I think like milk or something or water.
Okay, for instance, do you remember how many companies own the brands that we normally see every day? It said something interesting about it.
Oh, I don't know.
That they have a lot of employees.
No, I said how many companies
10 companies,
own.
he said.
10 companies, yes. They own. Well, maybe, for instance, can you name the how many products does Coca-Cola own normally, the company? Sorry, yes, the Coca-Cola or Facebook own.
Coca-Cola is soda. ¿Cómo se dice soda en
Soda,
inglés?
yes, soda,
But
but for instance, how many brands of soda?
no, I mean agua con gas. How do you say it?
No, that's a soda, so.
But soda, it's also gaseosa, I think.
Yes, well, but sometimes they don't make a difference as we do. That's why.
Yes.
I remember in Cuba they call it gaseada, but it's mostly soda as well. Although gaseada, they were very refreshing. God, they were so hot. PepsiCo, Unilever, Coca-Cola. For instance, how many products does the company Facebook own?
WhatsApp,
WhatsApp, Instagram.
WhatsApp, yes. Instagram as well. Really? I
Yes.
didn't know. Interesting. How many products can a company buy?
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, you have Facebook, you have WhatsApp, you have Instagram, so you can see that the same company owns several products and several brands. Interesting. And it said 10 companies in the whole world. That's amazing. Not surprising, but it's amazing. Okay, letter G. What does it mean, privately owned company? Let's do it orally because there's no space left on the board.
That they are not trading.
Publicly traded, yes.
That they stayed independent, I wrote.
Yeah.
Independent.
Yeah.
Could it be a family business or a sole proprietor?
Or media or entertainment company.
Right. Can you think of any privately owned company here?
I don't know. Supervia.
Ah. Do you think, for instance, Arcor is a privately owned,
I
or
don't
maybe
know.
their shares can be traded? Well, we don't work in
I don't know.
Arcor, so it's unknown to us.
Maybe
Very
they,
good.
I
So, can
guess.
you name some of the privately owned companies the video mentions?
IKEA and Cargill.
Cargill, yes. IKEA and Cargill. Have you ever bought something at IKEA?
No.
No.
Interesting. Well, there is no IKEA here on San Luis, so
In
not us,
Argentina,
but
I
at
think.
least you, Karen.
No, because there is no, I think, in Argentina.
No, I
Well,
think they don't.
right. So forget what I said. Probably I've never seen it as well, so it's interesting. But we do have small mart. Sorry, Walmart. That's one of them.
Yes.
Although
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's a privately owned company like IKEA. Very good.
Yes, I
So,
think so.
okay, so it's probably privately owned. That's another example. Very good. So, Maddie, can you write down maybe IKEA? You
Yes.
said family businesses, sole proprietors. Was that the another example of a privately owned company?
I think it mentioned like a structure of privately owned company, but then he said some names of companies particularly.
Yes, what he mentioned mostly was that sometimes privately owned companies tend to be small, but some of them can be big companies like IKEA, for instance, and Cargill. Probably Walmart too. So that's probably privately owned companies tend to be maybe small businesses. But it's okay, so very good. So we can either do the final activity or we can just call it the day. You name it.
No, I think we can do the next one. I
Yes.
don't know, Karen.
Yes, I'm not sure because I don't know if it's too long. I think it's easy. Very good. So go
10
to the
words.
next frame. We have a classic fill in the gaps activity here. And I think this one you can see it better than the previous one.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, you can now. Got it.
Yes.
You're on my
Yes. Let
screen. Yes, very good. Okay, so exercise 2 here. Karen, read this.
Exercise 2. Use the correct words from exercise 1 to fill the gaps in the following text.
Right, so it's exercise 1, and then the previous one that we did. If you want, let's take a picture so that we can remember. Let's take a quick picture. Right. Very good. So, do you often do that? Taking a picture so you can remember?
No, I
Okay,
go
so
back.
now we're going to start reading here. Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends. Last year, when I was working with PowerPoint presentations, I would use what we call triggers, which is that's what lets you go back to another frame, another slide. But in this case, Google Jamboard hasn't got it, so you have to go back to the frame, the next frame. You have to take your time for it, and it's rather annoying. Very good. So, Maria, can you start reading here? Remember, we have to use the words from exercise 1 to fill in the gaps.
Okay. My name is Luis Nichols. I own 40% of the issued shares in Sanders and Nichols Ltd. The other shareholders
What? What do you think,
are
Karen? Is it shareholder?
Yes, I think so.
Dennis Sanders and Kit Nielsen.
Very good. Can you write it down, Maria?
Yes.
Shareholders. Well, there's your cue, as well as being members of a company. So it's all right. Okay, Karen, go on reading here.
As well as members of the company, we are responsible for running the company as we are the director of the company.
Directors. Is it true? Well, it says they're running the company.
Yes.
I think yes. I think
so.
you're right. Directors. Maria, can you write it down for Karen?
Thank you, Maria.
Directors there. Directors of the company. All right, Maria, go on reading the next part. Yes.
Okay. Kit Nielsen has an additional responsibility as he is the accountant.
Yes.
He has to make sure that all the legal requirements in connection with filling documents at company's house are complied with. No, it's company secretary.
Company secretary. Very good. Can you write it down?
Okay.
Company secretaries. Okay, Karen, go on.
We have 3 accountants who works in our shop in Chatsworth. No, employees. Employees, maybe.
Yes.
Okay, Mari, do your thing.
Employees.
Employees.
Okay.
Employees. Okay, who work in a shopping Chatsworth. Very good. Maria, go on reading with the next one.
Okay. We use the services of an to keep our financial records up to date.
Easy.
An accountant.
Yes.
We have regular meetings with her, and each month we look at the list of people who haven't paid our invoices.
Invoices. Well, I wanted that part to be read by Karen, but it's okay. Can you read? Can you write letter E? For instance, in this case, which gives you the hint that it's accountants.
The
Apart
ant.
from, apart
The
from,
ant.
yes,
The
and
ant.
apart from keeping financial records,
I think
that's
the
very,
ant.
yes, that's very useful for an examination. And remember, Adela has just told me that you need to send your credit card details
Oh,
for
yes.
the
Yes.
for the tolls examination.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Be careful because she gets really well. Well, it can be tiring. So we
She's
said we have our
listening to
regular
you.
meetings with her, and each month we look at the list of people. Very good. Of these, let
Of
start
these,
reading, Karen.
of these debtors, I think, we look to see if there is a good reason why they haven't paid us.
Very good,
Yeah,
Maria. Do your thing.
okay.
Well, let's see. Is a good reason why they haven't paid us. Very good, Maria. Sorry, yes, Maria.
If there is no reason, we contact them to ask them to pay us immediately. In the same way, we look at the people that we owe money to. These are our
What?
creditors.
Yes.
Creditors. Very good. Write it down. Okay. Karen, go on reading here. You can see it. Yes.
We pay most of this, but if we have a query, we will raise
Query. Yes.
that. Once a year, it is necessary for an auditor to check the financial records and accounts of our company.
Yes. Now read the final sentence here.
This is an independent check to make sure that our annual accounts show the true financial position of Sanders and Nichols Ltd.
Okay, Manny, can you write down that final one, the 8? Auditor, are you right? Is it correct?
Yes.
Well, then it's auditor. Okay, it goes on in the next frame. Ah,
Okay.
no, it's okay. Well, that's the final activity. I had a final one in case we did it all quickly, but I think we can call it a day.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll stop the recording here, and then I'll have to upload it. I've lost, I've got unused to upload it because I need to get used to it more often.